Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. There's a fascinating little article in my local newspaper about a rather violent road rage incident. Nobody was hurt, but the police are on a manhunt because they want to get a hold of this person, do an evaluation, make sure they're doing okay psychologically. But it's been 3 weeks, and they've heard neither hide nor hair of this road rager. This doesn't particularly shock me. First of all, as much as people like to say, oh, we're a police state and our rights are going, stuff like that, the police power is still pretty limited. Back in the day when I worked midnights, I probably could have done nearly anything I wanted. I knew where the police were. I knew what was going on, the traffic patterns and everything. You know where the police were? They were right by the strip clubs. Easy tickets for them. They'd just pull a whole bunch of people over, they'd grab them, put them in another side parking lot and get to them one by one. And I have no problem with that. The, the DUIers are a way bigger threat than pretty much anything on the road at midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not criticizing them. They have limited resources. They're concentrating on what they know to be a problem. And it is a problem because, well, what's the big thing that strip clubs make their money on besides the flesh on stage? Exactly. But around midnight, you can do some crazy stuff. Do U-turns in the middle of nowhere with a no U-turn sign up, and you'll probably never get in trouble for it. The cops are looking for the big fish. I'm not saying it's perfect. Excuse me. One of the amazing things I find is the people who get multiple DUIs. First of all, it shows their mentality. They're not concerned with anybody but themselves. I've never gotten one because I'm not stupid enough. But at the same token, the same applies to them. As long as they're not going to a major bar where the police have it scoped up and stuff, they can probably get away with it. So these people with multiple DUIs within the same year, they're doing something really stupid. Well, they all are. But at the same token, you're just begging for trouble at that point. Now, road rage, all they have is some camera footage, which is wonderful. I mean, it apparently shows the license plate and apparently shows the person who committed his actions, but it's in the past. Everybody's moved on, and not saying that people aren't doing their job, quite the opposite. They do have these scanners that look for license plates that are expired and stuff like that. I was driving with a friend in 2013, 2014, I believe it was, and we were going over a highway overpass. So our defenses are down because he's got that nice concrete barricade, and this cop pulled a U-turn from the other lane, hunted us down, and pulled us over. Turned out my friend didn't have a license, didn't have insurance, didn't have anything. Well, I didn't know that. I'm an idiot for not checking before getting into the car. And yeah, basically, this officer was being extra diligent and paying attention to what his machine told him. But again, if he's chasing a DUI, an aggressive lane changer, or something like that, he's probably not going to be too interested in the unlicensed, uninsured people because one's an immediate threat and the other one isn't. And the road rager, I hate to say it, it would be pretty easy to hide from police, at least for a short period of time. Put the car in your garage, use it at night, and most people have two vehicles these days anyway, so unlike myself, I just use my wife's car for a couple days. Well, not that I ever would. Never understood road or roid rage either. I mean, road rage is stupid. No matter how idiotic the person in front of me is behaving, it's easier for me to sit inside my 2 tons of steel and say whatever choice words I like under my breath than it is for me to get out and confront them. I'm a big guy, 6'3". I'm intimidating. I know that, but that could work against my best interests. My best interests are sitting in the car, letting the idiot finish what they're doing and driving away. Getting out and deciding to explain my perspective to them. Well, how do I know they're not armed? How do I know they're not having a bad day too? And me getting out and using colorful language and colloquialisms is not going to do too much to convince that person, oops, I better calm down here. No. You are always going to be way more effective being calm than you are getting upset. And the streets, the streets are not made of gold and they don't have little leprechauns going up and down and singing on them. They're filled with average people like you and I that have had various days at work, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And that's just the way it is. We're humans. We're emotional. We react to things. And sometimes when we've been pushed hard enough, or maybe we're just not psychologically equipped to deal with the situation, we snap. There's no real way this is going to end, even when we get computers driving the cars around properly and not hitting other people. It's still going to be a problem. My bloody Apple is putting me down the damn side street again, and start smacking away at it because people still hit the computers. It does the computer no good, it does you no good, but people are still doing it. So what do? Well, every city, every town has a certain police budget. And you have to trust in them that they're allocating their resources properly. You and I can't possibly audit it. Are you kidding? They know they need a certain amount of cars on patrol at any given day. They know they have a certain number of officers who are not capable of going on patrol, whether they're sick, whether they're on a suspension, whatever the reason may be. And remember, I worked in logistics for a very long time. I could probably figure it out, but at the same token, you got to make lightning fast decisions over what your priority is. Police have to attend at a fire because they're there to start the investigation, make the initial observations to make sure that the fire people do not get interfered with. A lot of times police have to go with an ambulance because domestic violence exists. There's all sorts of assaults and stuff like that. You need a policeman there to start beginning the investigation. And you have to have officers free to be able to do that while at the same time maintaining all your other responsibilities. Now, I know most of the stuff like providing an honor guard for the mayor, patrolling, what would you call it when they watch a parade? They're not watching. They're making sure there's no interactions that are going on that are shady or weird or suspicious. They're facilitating a parade? I don't know. I know that you have to hire a certain amount, and that's on their overtime. But if they're on their overtime, they're not available for you. When they have to go to court and testify, they're not available for you. And I don't care whether they're paid overtime or not. That's a lot of work to do. Even in a small city with, say, 100 officers, that would be enough to turn anybody's hair silver. And with that, I think that's where we'll leave the Silverlight Show today, saying the police do want to get to everybody. They just physically can't. There's too much going on. And that's why you need to use the non-emergency number whenever it's possible. Yes, 911 is a resource, and definitely use it. But most things can be resolved by the non-emergency. The guy down the street at 11 o'clock playing his music so loud that it makes your teeth shake, not a 911 call. You want a wellness check done on your neighbor because you know they're older and you haven't seen them in a number of days. That's a non-emergency call. So don't just have 911 ready, have the non-emergency programmed into your phone as well, because a lot falls under non-emergency response. And when everybody uses the system properly, it leaves more officers free to attend the actual emergencies. With that, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, because sharing is caring. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the notification icon down below. That way you can be notified every time we release a new episode. And we hope you have a fantastic day.